Right now, your life might feel scattered. Your vision might look like it's completely all over the place and you don't know where you are going. But in this particular video, I'm going to help you shift your focus. Come back to the right place. And by the end of this video, you'll be singing a brand new song. And if you stick to the end, you'll know exactly what the song is. All right? Welcome everyone, my name is Dimitri. I am the gentleman who's simply on fire about seeing you re-engineer your potential so you can 10x your result within 12 months. All right, without any further ado, let's get right into it. In 1964, a gentleman by the name of Sidney Poitier was able to receive the coveted Oscar for Best Actor Performance from the Academy. And that was the very first time that someone of African descent was given this prestigious award. And this was given to him because of his performance in a particular movie. The movie was called The Lilies of the Field. Let me just tell you something about the movie. The story of the movie goes something like this. A group of German nuns, Catholics, decided to resettle order from Germany to America, more specifically somewhere in the desert of Arizona. As they got there, they have this big vision as far as America is concerned. They say, we're settling in this particular place in America, in this desert place in Arizona, to build a chapel. But the catch is, they had no money. They had basically no resources, simply a big vision. As they set in this particular place, of course, very quickly, they developed this reputation of people who had this big vision, but no provision. Here's how things went. One day, a handyman by the name of Homer Smith, not Homer Simpson, Homer Smith, was driving by and all of a sudden realized that yes, his car, the engine of his car, the carburetor of his engine needed access to water. So he had to stop at the first place where he could go ask for water. And he decided to drive by this place where all the nuns were established. And he goes there and asks for water, and they were completely beyond excited to see this young man stopping by the place to give him exactly what he's looking for, and he was on his way. But before you go in, they said, please, would you consider staying with us because we have some job for you. At first, he decided to drive away, and very quickly decided to come back. And they said, what is the job? They tell me, yes, the job is about fixing the roof. And he said, yeah, I can attend to that. He decided to attend to the job and thinking it was going to be a quick job. He gets the job done and he gets paid and moves on. After he gets the job done, they explained to him, no, you can't just live like that. So stay with us for supper. He stayed with us for supper, and next thing you know, in the morning, they woke him up and they said, we have more job for you. He says, no, I'm on my way to bigger things. So just pay me so I can move on. And before he can actually realize what was happening, they bring him and expose him to a much bigger vision that they have. It was not just about fixing the roof, but it was also about helping them build a chapel. At first he was resistant, but slowly but surely he got into the vision and started finding ways to help them make things happen. And before you know it, what is going to happen is the handyman became the master builder that helped the nuns attract or draw or magnetize all the resources within the community to come now turn this vision into a reality. And in the process, what happened as well is not only help them build a chapel, but also build themselves by simply helping them learn the language, because they realized that these people were in America, but they could not speak English properly, so he helped them to learn the language. And by the time this process was actually completely over, they were singing a song, and the song was simply the following song. Amen. 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 I know, I know, I know. Some of you are going to say to me, but Dimitri, come on. This is a movie. This is pure fiction. This is Hollywood. Yeah, I can see where you're coming from. And let me just basically address that. There are a couple of things. Number one, let me give you the cognitive argument as to why this goes well beyond the movie. And then we're going to now go to a practical example to demonstrate that this was much more than just a movie. First of all, the cognitive argument. I was sharing with you a few days ago that there are four quadrants or four corners that you have to pay attention to when it comes to something key, your energy or the vibes that you exude as a person. I told you about this physical environment that you have to pay attention to, and that's within your control. I told you about your emotional ecosystem that you have to pay attention to that can allow for you to have the right emotion as far as your vision is concerned and as far as your environment is concerned. I told you about the right mental space. What is the vision? What are the strategies? What are the goals that you have in mind as far as what you're building is concerned? I told you about the right spiritual ecosystem. Are you in a place of praying fervently for the vision to come to pass and believing that things are coming your way? Or are you simply sitting there by the side road, simply complaining about anything and everything as to where you are, and because someone decided to send you to America, to Arizona, without any provision? Guess what? The nuns simply said to themselves intuitively, yes, we're going to go to America, but we're going to protect our ecosystem. We are going to make sure that everything around us is going to speak to us in a positive manner, to remind us that yes, we are here as missionaries, not mercenaries. We're not here to simply sell our skills to the first person who's going to come our way, but we are here to build something, and because we are here on a mission, we are going to remain here as missionaries. So we're going to make sure that everything around us speaks to that. That's number one, physical environment or physical ecosystem. Emotional ecosystem. They didn't come to America simply believing, oh my goodness, something good is going to happen to us, and if it's not, basically we're going to become sad. No, they got to America and they made sure to remain as much as possible, to remain cheerful, to remain extremely excited about the vision. And this excitement is precisely what drew this young man, Homer Smith, to the vision, because he realized that this woman, yes, they didn't have much, but they had a big heart as far as the vision was concerned. That was number two. Number three, mental ecosystem. They made sure that the vision remained clear. They made sure that the strategies to get there were actually clear. They made sure the goal on a day-to-day basis will remain clear. They knew always what to do from point A to point B. They never let anything such as lack deter them from taking action. Last but not least, they remained in the right spiritual ecosystem. They made sure that, yes, on a daily basis, they were not just there praying passively for some kind of miracles. As they were praying, they were working. As they were praying, they were working. They didn't have much, but they were praying while they were working toward this bigger vision. And before it came to pass. But again, I say, I know. You may say to me, this was just a movie. Here's the funny thing. Sometimes life can be stranger than fiction. Let me just tell you why. In 1964, this young man indeed received his first award, the first Oscar for Best Performance as the Best Actor. But the funny thing is, when you look beyond the veil, you're going to realize that that story about Homer Smith was pretty much his own life story. Let me just tell you why. He was born in America to two parents from Bahamas. They were just in America to sell tomatoes, and ultimately they went back to Bahamas, and that's where they stayed for quite a long time. But as they were in the Bahamas, this young man, Sidney Poitier, kept telling everyone that his vision one day was to make it to America and to go on to become a big actor. But people didn't take him seriously because they says, number one, we are poor. Number two, we're in the Bahamas. Hollywood is in America. How and when would you get to America? And number three, what training do you have that would justify people with big money to put you in front of a camera. So it didn't really make sense. But this young man is still held on to his vision. He moved to America, first in the South, and eventually decided to move to the North, more specifically in the East Coast. He goes to New York City, and as he goes to New York City, he says, I need to sustain myself because the dream is to become an actor. But because the dream is not paying the bills, I need to find something that can actually pay the bills. So I need to go find a job. So he goes find a job as a dishwasher, and that's what he's doing in America. But the dream, the vision remained clear to become an actor. So one day, in between jobs as dishwasher, he stopped by the newspaper stand and he was just going through what was available as jobs. With his limited English, command of English, he goes to the classified section and he sees that yes, somewhere amazing at the A&T, the American Negro Theater, there was a producer, a director looking for actors. So he says, this could be the breakthrough I'm looking for. Let me just go and audition for this particular gentleman. He goes in audition for this particular gentleman. It does not go so well. Why? Because by the time he picks the script and they started reading, the director realized quickly that yes, this young man has a good heart. He has a big vision as far as what he wants to do with himself is concerned. But he lacks certain critical skills when it comes to becoming an actor. He cannot read properly, so he decided to ask him to stop. And because his gentleman was, because Sidney Poitier was still a bit hesitant, he decided to jump on the stage and hold him now by the pants and drag him outside and simply says, yes, go back now to being a dishwasher. Stop wasting people's time. So Sidney Poitier was shocked. He says, how does he know that on a daily basis, that's what I do? So is it written on my forehead that yes, for the rest of my life, I'm supposed to be a dishwasher? So he goes back to his job as a dishwasher. But now, here is now where things are going to get extremely interesting. One day, during his break, while he was just minding in his business, and just looking at a newspaper, another Jewish man that was in the room simply asked him, so young Sidney, so what in the newspaper says, old man, I'm going to be honest with you. I can barely read. I can tell you something about the headlines, but as far as what it's saying, I cannot tell you more because I don't know how to read properly. And the older gentleman simply says, young man, don't worry about it. I will help you improve your skills as far as reading is concerned. And in return, from time to time, you tell me what in the newspaper when I ask you the question. You say, yeah, that's a good deal. So that's how he was able to improve his reading skills. And with this reading skill improved, he was now able to remember that yes, my dream, my vision, the goal was to become an actor. How about I go back to the American Negro Theater and tell him, yes, I can now trade my skills as a janitor and they can now teach me how to become an actor. And they looked at his resume and they looked at what he was offering and say, yeah, that's a good deal. So come on board. We're going to teach you how to become an actor and you'll be looking after this place. And before you know it, the rest is history. He went to 1964 to become the first person of African descent to win this coveted prize of Best Actor from the Oscar Academy. Here's the funny thing. It only happened because this young man looked at intuitively at the full quadrant of his energy. He simply said, yes, I need to protect my ecosystem, my physical ecosystem, to remind myself that I'm in America to become an actor, not to become a dishwasher. I need to remain emotionally involved with the dream. I cannot let any criticism, any negative comment about my feed, about what I'm doing to simply deter me from dreaming about becoming an actor. I'm still going to emotionally remain involved. Mentally, I'm going to do anything possible to get me closer to my dream. If they tell me I need to learn how to read properly, have a better accent, I'm going to work on it until it becomes a reality. And that's what he did. And last but not least, spiritually, you have to actively pray about that dream. So don't just pray and stay in your room, but pray and go about your day, trying to find opportunity that can get you closer to that particular thing. And before you know it, that's exactly what happened. So when in the movie, the Lilies of the Field is now teaching the nuns how to to speak English properly. It was almost as if he was now remembering how someone came to teach him how to read properly and to sound more American in his own life. And that when basically the young man gave the performance everything that he had in his soul, because he saw how basically how his life and fiction were now colliding to simply remind him that yes, as long as you maintain the right attitude towards your dream, all things are going to remain possible. You may say to me, this is just one off. I'll simply give you one final example and I'm going to stop. In 1972, the talented Bob Marley and the Wailers found themselves in London. They were stranded because they did not know how to go back to Jamaica. So they were looking for a place or someone who could help them by the way back to Jamaica. But Bob Marley said, no, we're not just looking for someone going to help us go back to Jamaica, but our goal, our dream, our vision is to make it on the world stage as entertainers. So we are looking for someone who's going to put money on the table so we can go back to Jamaica and produce an album that's going to help us now have the visibility that we're looking for. Eventually, someone put them in touch with Chris Blackwell. As they get in touch with Chris Blackwell, they come to realize that yes, in life, as long as you have a way to protect your energy, by making sure you remain in the right environment, by making sure you remain emotionally connected to the dream, by making sure that you remain mentally connected to the dream and spiritually connected to the dream, eventually you're going to meet someone who's going to help you now get access to the resources you're looking for, and this resource I'll simply put you on the right path. Guess what? That was in 1972, and as soon as they were able to produce the album called Catch a Fire between 1972 and 1981, by the time it actually passed away, Bob Marley and the Wailers were now able to set the world on fire. Why? Because of simply this what quote unquote chance encounter. How did this happen? Because the gentleman simply said to himself, yes, the vision is to make it. And as far as our vision is concerned, we have to make sure that we protect our ecosystem, physical ecosystem, emotional ecosystem, mental ecosystem, and spiritual ecosystem. Actively be praying about it, and the right people are simply going to be magnetized or attracted to our vision. And the rest is history, because by the time it was done, people were Sidney Poitier in the movie was simply singing the song, Amen, 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 and shall it be for you. I don't know what you're going through right now. Of course, if let's say you are in LA right now and your house is burning or your house has been burned down, yeah, I can't tell you to smile right now, but I'll tell you one key thing. Something key that's been proven when it comes to bodies of research. If you decide that today I'm going to be smiling, as you're smiling, you're forcing your whole body now to adapt to this smile that you have on your face. And as you're doing that, you're also going to force people around you to also smile back in return, because of this thing called mirror neurons. You cannot see someone who's actually smiling, seem to be having a great day and just remain completely indifferent. Somehow you're going to be also drawn to also smile like them. And just by doing that, you're going to realize that yes, you do have indeed the power to change your circumstances and to draw the right people and the right opportunities into your life. Again, in summary, just make sure to remember this one key thing. As long as you can protect your physical environment, your emotional environment, your mental environment, and your spiritual environment, and also actively pray about the vision, dream about the vision, remain emotionally attached to the dream, and protect the dream as far as your physical environment is concerned, slowly but surely you're going to start magnetizing or attracting the right people, the right opportunity, and the right circumstances as far as the future is concerned. All right? If this video resonated with you, I'm going to kindly ask you to just do a couple of things. Number, just write Amen in the comment section, and also write PEMS so I will know exactly who has watched until the end. Take care. I'm out.